Hello. We're the Cool Classics, and my name is Frank Feta.
And my name is Ruslan Vilkov.
We're very happy to be here today to present this lovely concert virtually, and we hope that you will really enjoy it.
And we are grateful to the Glendale City Church for providing their sanctuary for this concert. We look forward to being part of their second Saturday series when in-person concerts resume. And now we are in our empty church concert series.
That's true. But the music fills it up, and we hope it will fill you up as well, and that will come across to you and warm your hearts with this beautiful selection of pieces for cello and piano.
We would like to thank also Pastor Todd Leonard and Dave Ferguson for making this possible today.
Absolutely. And continuing on, that was of course the Swan from the Carnival of the Animals. But continuing on, we're going to do...
we will perform for you a piece composed by a cellist. His name was David Popper. He lived at the end of 19th, beginning of 20th century. And apparently Mr. Popper liked to eat very much and wasn't always prepared to pay for his dinners. So restaurators knew whenever Popper would come to the restaurant and order a lot of tasty food, there could have been a good chance that after the dinner he would quickly run home, compose a piece, and would bring it back to the restaurant as a payment for his dinner. Within my entire professional musician career, I've never been in the restaurant that would accept any of my pieces.
Who knows? We should keep trying, however.
Probably.
Yes. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy this very, very lively piece, the Tarantella. Got rid of that tarantula. Well, we hope you really enjoyed that tremendously lively piece. And Ruslan has a story about tarantellas, and maybe we should hear it.
Many years ago, a horrible thing happened. There was a beautiful town in Italy, and it got attacked by horrible tarantulas. Tarantulas were biting people, and people were dying. And once a little beautiful girl got bitten by a horrible tarantula, but she was very brave, and she said, I'm not going to just die, I will be dancing and will die while dancing. So she started her dance, and miraculously the dance worked as an antidote for the poison of the horrible tarantula. And from those days, this dance is called tarantella.
Tarantella. And many composers have actually now written tarantellas, and now it is a dance form. You'll see a lot of times the ballet companies will do various tarantellas, and they're very lively, very athletic, and quite demanding, and also very, very jubilant.
It's important to mention because there might be children watching us, or adults as well. This is just a legend, and I hope none of us will meet face to face with a horrible tarantula. But if any of you get bitten by a tarantula, please don't dance tarantellas. Call 911.
Good medical advice.
Yes.
So now we're going to follow this tarantula piece, the tarantella, with a very beautiful, mild piece by Tchaikovsky. It's called a Nocturne. It was originally written as a piano piece for, and then reorchestrated for orchestra and cello. But we're going to do the piano cello version for you.
And Nocturne is a
nighttime piece. Yeah.
Nighttime piece. Yes.
Very calm, very relaxing, very, very soothing. That's the one you let the breath out. It's really a stunning piece of music. But, yeah,
It is. Tchaikovsky.
that's just great. So we hope that puts you in a lovely mood, relaxed, maybe not so relaxed, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous melancholy piece of music. And we're going to follow this with Foray.
With a morning piece then.
A morning piece, right. We just did a nocturne. And this Foray is from a song that he wrote called After a Dream. And it's a very lovely, 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 lovely poem. The song is exquisite, sung by many singers, but we're doing it in a version for cello and piano.
And we thought, since the cello is the closest to human's voice instrument, it's appropriate to play it on the cello, especially since the arrangement was done by one of the greatest cellists of all times, Pablo Casals. It's a woman. She just lost her husband, and she sees him in her dream. She wakes up in the morning and walks toward the sea, observing rising sun and praying, asking nature, the sun and the sea, to bring him back.
It's really wonderful playing this with Ruslan. I've played it with so many singers, but he's the first cellist I've performed this with, and the cello lends itself to the tremendous expression of the song
Maestro.
itself. Thank you. It was
Thank
really
you.
beautiful playing it with you.
Thank you.
Next piece, we're going to make a trip to Spain called Requiebros, Memories.
Mhm.
And this is a brilliant piece of music. And Pablo Casals used to play this a lot, did he not?
That's correct. In fact, it was dedicated to Pablo Casals by Gaspar Casado, who was a cellist himself, and they were contemporaries. So Casado, who studied with Ravel, was a great composer. Dedicated this piece to Casals. Casals loved it, and our journey around the world with cellists.
That's true. That's true. So we hope you enjoy this. This is a brilliant piece and has some lyrical, wonderful portions to it. But again, it's very uplifting to the spirit. I hope you enjoyed that. We love to play it a lot. It's a great piece, and to combine it with the cello and piano, it brings out a tremendous amount of dynamics. Next piece, we go back to sort of a nocturne again, don't we? A very famous musical appeared on the scene a number of years ago. It was called The Phantom of the Opera. It probably has more people watched The Phantom of the Opera almost than any other musical ever. It's by the Englishman Andrew Lloyd Webber. And it's very classically oriented, and the voices have to be classically trained voices. But there's a gorgeous piece in it called The Music of the Night, which is sung by the Phantom. I think it's wonderful how this works with cello instead of the voice. We decided sort of the last minute to do something of this nature, and the way he plays it is so beautiful that the vocal dynamics and all of the nuance of the singer come out in the cello and really communicate the song beautifully. So thank you.
Thank you.
I'm glad we did it.
Thank you. Me too.
Now we're going to go on to a more virtuosic piece by the Italian Paganini, and Ruslan has some stories to tell about Paganini.
Niccolo Paganini, one of the greatest violinists of all times, lived at the end of 18th, beginning of 19th century, legendary violinist. There is a story that apparently a few jealous individuals slightly damaged, cut 3 out of 4 strings of his violin prior to his performance. He didn't notice it, picked the instrument, went on the stage and started the recital. First string broke, he didn't stop, kept playing on 3 strings, and the second string broke. He kept playing on 2 strings, and the third string broke, and apparently Paganini played on 1 string until the end of the concert. After that, he went home and composed a piece. It's a set of variations on the theme from an opera, Moses in Egypt, by another Italian composer, Gioacchino Rossini. And the piece is supposed to be performed on 1 string only, for violin and guitar. And today we will make an attempt to perform it on cello with piano.
And also on 1 string.
And also on 1 string only. So good luck to us.
Marvelous piece, and the way he plays it's incredible.
Thank you, Miles.
He's had big success with this, and obviously you can imagine how surprised people are to hear it on the cello. It's great. One string, one cello, one cellist, and a pianist. So.
And this cello was actually made in Italy.
Yes.
Also, it's an Italian cello, and we would like to thank Robert Carr Violins and Robert Carr personally for providing this instrument for us, for me, primarily. And also Alan Tomastik, the owner of Tomastik Infeld Strings Company, for providing this wonderful, newly developed strings. So thank you.
It's great. So we'd like to follow this with something back to Russia. And this is a great piece. It's a vocalise. A vocalise normally is an exercise that a singer does. And this piece was written with a singer in mind, but with no words. Tell us a little bit about it. And Rachmaninoff actually, interestingly enough, lived in Los Angeles, lived in Beverly Hills. He emigrated to this country and actually became a citizen.
That's correct. Immigrated to the United States after the Great October Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
He was from aristocratic society.
Mm-hmm.
This is a piece it's a song that doesn't have words. So the singer will just use one
A syllable.
a syllable.
A syllable or a
Just-
hum. They usually go, "Ah," something like that, you know. It's really very beautiful, very haunting.
But it's a very emotional piece. We Russians say it's a music where the door is open, the soul is exposed.
It is. So we would love to play for you now the Vocalist by Rachmaninoff. So we hope you enjoyed that very haunting and soulful melody by Rachmaninoff. It's really quite exquisite. And we continue on with another Russian piece, don't we?
Yes.
And it's very, very famous, very lively, and it's based on an animal. It's called The Flight of the Bumblebee by Rimsky-Korsakov.
Isn't it an insect?
A bee is an insect, yes.
Not an animal.
Well, it's an insect, yes, that's true. That's true.
Let's just play it. I
Oh,
guess.
let's play it. Okay, lovely. Let's do it. Okay. So there is our version of an insect flying. It's from a ballet, obviously, but in any event, it is very lively and a very, very famous piece. So the next piece, we go to Poland
And France.
To Frédéric Chopin. And he was known for his piano playing and his beautiful music that he wrote for the piano. Etudes and nocturnes, incredible ballades, etc., sonatas. And this piece is a really kind of an unusual one in that it's from his book of etudes. And we usually think of an etude as being a study, something that builds a lot of technique.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, it's such a lyrical etude, and it was arranged by a cellist, I believe, right?
No, actually, Alexander Glazunov. He
Oh,
was a composer.
the composer, yes.
Yeah, the etude was originally written in C-sharp minor and became known as a so-called cello etude because Chopin composed it in the middle register of the piano. So people who listened for the piece were virtually hearing a cello. So Alexander Glazunov, Russian composer, arranged it for the actual cello with piano. He transcribed it into E minor, and we'll perform this etude for you right now.
And E minor is actually a remarkable key to play this in because it's so centered.
That's correct.
It's so centered. Yeah. it ends up being a perfect piece of music for cello.
Thank you.
It's pretty amazing. It's really pretty amazing. So now we kind of do a big about face, kind of something that's really, really, really not like Chopin at all. And we go back to America with George Gershwin. George Gershwin wrote an opera called Porgy and Bess. It was very popular. It was one of the first operas written in English that were actually sung in English, and has become very, very popular. It's a part of the repertoire of the Metropolitan Opera right now. And so we hope you will enjoy this wonderful piece sung in the middle of the opera. And again, it's a vocal piece, but it's played eminently beautifully by the cello.
And it was arranged by Jascha Heifetz,
Yes.
who was a violinist,
Who
From
also
Russia?
lived in Los Angeles.
who also lived in Beverly Hills and
That's
Los
right.
Angeles.
That's
correct.
true. That's true.
Yes.
So we hope that you enjoyed our journey through the musical world. Again, we're so happy that we were invited to do this, and it's always wonderful to play with such a great musician as Ruslan Buryukov.
Thank you, Maestro. It's a pleasure playing with you.
Thank you very much. So we hope you will watch. We hope we can come back again. And we're so happy that you love music and that you are doing these concerts virtually.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.